Sometimes it happens. Had to do a quick check-in, y'all. So who this for? Who this for? I don't even know who this for. I think this is for YouTube today. What's going on, YouTube? I know y'all used to seeing me in the crib, walking around in the park. Today we had to do something different. What up, YouTube? We're back. Alright. So like we said, man, mindfulness. It's not just in the park no more. Sometimes it's in the ocean. Yeah, we at the tip of the edge right now. What's this town again? We are. The edge. New York City, though. You hear the helicopters. Oh, no, that's a plane, actually. But yeah, New York City right there. Come in. Yeah. But I know y'all see it, right? Right over there. Right over there. Mm-hmm. Something to think about, you know. We mindful, right? Not just in our heads, but we mindful of the space. Like we got the whole space and time. Mindful of it all. We're here by the water, with a different environment, but we're doing the same thing. Sometimes you got to get out your head, though, you know. So back, YouTube, we back. All right, so we want to talk about today. Like, you know what? Talk to y'all the subject, but I just want to stay on that for a minute. Like, um, you know, the environment, the landscape, the earth that we walking on, the ground that you're on, whatever kind of ground that you're on. Talk about that too. Try to get on the grass. Try to get in the dirt. It's like saying that now. Like it's like the energy to it. Like, you know, that bounces back at you when you say it. It's like rather than, you know, all the other things that people are saying, like, that are more airing, like, on the side of negating, like, it's like we gotta pulse the environment, and then we have to pulse our relationships with the positive energy. You're not gonna get that pulse from negating, you know. We're gonna get to the topic at hand today, but you know, what energy do you get from saying no and rejecting? Like, I get it. Sometimes we have to say no, but you don't get energy from saying no, right? So try to be positive, right? Staying positive, and that way we could put a little bit of energy into things and not withdraw energy. There's enough of that in the world. Yeah, in a parking lot right now. The great escape right now. Got out the restaurant, getting out the parking lot, getting out our heads, maybe getting out of the situation. Get us back in the park. It's only a few feet away. Yeah, like I want you to walk with me because you know, people be sitting down and they're different places. You see your favorite content creators, different places. And as I become your favorite content creator, you know, I'm in different places though, but in a short period, just, you know, all at once. So you can see, you know, like where we're going, what we're doing. Makes it a bit easier, actually, for me. So like for you, a little more real. Alright, so when you're ready, we're going to the park. Yeah, to the park, man. They got that. I like this, like, it's like, you know, we just outside, but we don't always have to, you know, we're going to go back inside. keep switching it, alternating it, but it's a little easier, get some fresh air, talk about this environment stuff, some tunes playing. It's a little bit easier for me to think too outside, like it's enough stimuli, like flowers, and we got some flowers, right? Yeah, colors. Everything we need to feel good and to reconnect. Alright, so close enough to the park. I think this is good. Oh, right by it too. The water, that is. Yeah, so today, like, I want you to think about something that everybody's saying right now. But before we do that, I'm gonna connect my microphone. I know me, I gotta have my mic, man. There's cars over here. I don't know how I do it. Oh, actually, yeah, Max. Don't hit record yet. So y'all already know what I said, right? We speaking about, we still on our mindfulness. But the subject matter for the day, just wanted to chat it up with you a little bit before we got, a little heavy. And it's not too heavy, but everybody's been saying this, and I want you to think about it for a bit, right? Everybody's been saying this phrase, like, they say I'm him, right? You might know a guy, you might know a gal, they might, have a little confidence. They might even have a little chip on the shoulder, right? They might have a reason for that, but you might hear them say this, that they're him, right? They're her. However, that comes out. However, and I want to talk about when people say that as an idea. I want to talk about that as a concept. And I want to talk about that as it relates to mindfulness and just being more thoughtful about life and where we're going with this thing that we call life itself, right? So in the world today, everyone has their phone, social media. So we're all a profile on someone's platform, and we're trying to get the most likes and comments and engagement from other people. We're trying to, I guess, out-dominate one another for attention on the platforms, these social ones. And the purpose, I guess, is to have some form of success, right? And I guess we define that differently. But like, what does that really mean? In a space where we all compete with each other for dominance, for attention. How does that play out? And do we respect each other and play by fair rules? Is it even a game, or is it life itself? Right? Like, how do we deal with each other? How do we relate to one another? Things like conflict resolution and basic communication. We don't have a standard for this. If you check Facebook, there's a community guideline, but how do we interact with each other? I don't even think we've defined that as a society. I damn sure don't think they defined it. I don't think a platform can tell us, how to be. I think it can only tell us how to act in that space. But who we are, what's in your heart, what's in your spirit, you're the self-determiner of that. Quick break, quick short one. That's why, we had to come outside and get the whole environment, the whole feel. All of the stimuli. And, just to continue to pick up back where we were. If we're focused on self, right, in general, then how are we connecting to other people? And when we say things like, I'm him, when you see that woman, she walks in and she might not say it to you, but maybe she's saying it in her head, her, right? Like, how is that leveraging our connection? How is it bridging the gap in our connection to another human being? And hey, man, maybe you haven't heard this before, but maybe you'll hear it. You'll hear it more now, or maybe you'll see it, and maybe you see it in context without those words, right? In life, just that self-focus or selfishness sometimes can be unhealthy. I'm talking about when it plays out in a way that is unhealthy. Let's walk into the park a little bit. You guys see these waves, man? Like, see these waves real quick. Yeah, there's certain things that nature. That's what I'm saying, Yeah, so let's walk into the park, you guys can walk with me. So how do we connect to other people? How do we do that when the feelings are those, such that the focus is so insular, the focus is so self-reflective that maybe there's no reason to reach out and think beyond self. And I think that's a bad play long term. In the long run, it might not be the best way for us to go about being mindful. How do you feel about self-confidence and balance between, prioritizing yourself and maybe sometimes putting other people maybe first, right? Maybe your children, your family, your spouse. In the world today, how do you feel about these things? Does this even matter? Does what I'm saying even matter now? Like, does it even fucking matter that we try to connect to each other? I think it always does, but I think it's something to double down on. If we consider it a fact, then I think we have to change our words, and I think we have to say, we've arrived. I think we have to say that we've arrived because I couldn't get where I've gotten even today, literally right now, without, the help, the contribution, the focus, the time, the effort of another. And I think when we realize the fact in that, it's just a bare fact, that we can't get around. That in the end, love is everything. Now, as much as we think that driving into your favorite spot is you being independent as can be, the question is who built the car. The question is who built the road. The question is, to be or not to be. But the real question is, who are you? The real question of why we even live in cities. I think it has to do with this. I think today we decided. We already made our answer to this whole thing. We said, I am, the only sanctified entity until we realize the truth that we all matter. I think we want to go into the park now. I can feel it. I think I said enough now. It's time to hit the park. But while you're thinking about it, you know, I mean, just think about it. Like, is it enough? And should we care? Is it enough to change the words and what we say? To think about, you know, ourselves in a community, and to let go of this idea of like competition for the same attention that we're probably going to share anyway in the same community. Maybe mindfulness will be so normalized that we won't have to say it anymore. Maybe it won't. But you know, I'll be right back. You guys know I'll be back. This is always tomorrow. And we got to really tackle this thing today and tomorrow, right? But what are you going to do? You care about what I'm saying? Or do you not give any energy to it? But I think we'll be back on that one. That was visual shots, yeah. 'Cause it's hard to move around with that.